Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another InsideLowell podcast. I am your host, Teddy Panos, coming to you from the WellPoint Studios here in downtown Lowell. WellPoint is the only health plan offering healthcare benefits exclusively to Massachusetts GIC members. At WellPoint, your whole health is their whole point. And we thank our friends at WellPoint for helping to make this podcast possible and all of our InsideLowell podcasts possible. Along with the rest of our podcast sponsors, you'll see their logos scrolling across your screen there. Of course, our friends at Washington Savings Bank. Make the switch now to Washington Savings Bank. TMI Properties, quality and value at every price point. Find your perfect space with TMI. Boston North Company, business solutions for restaurant and retail. Mahoney Oil, providing warmth and protection to Greater Lowell for nearly a century. Francis E. Preventure Insurance, the agency Greater Lowell has counted on for more than 41 years. And last, but certainly not least, the Massachusetts Pirates, bringing all the hard-hitting action and excitement of arena football to the Mill City. And with that, I turn to my special guest on this podcast. She is a young lady who has kind of formed her own nonprofit. It's called Less Leg, More Heart. I hadn't heard about it until our contributor here at InsideLowell, Ellen Andre, put up a feature about it, but it's a fascinating organization. It's doing some amazing work in the community, and its founder is a fascinating person who has her own fascinating story. Tina Hurley. From now on, I'm going to shorten it to Tina, if that's okay.
That's perfect.
Thanks for joining us here in the WellPoint Studios. Great to have you here.
I'm so excited. I'm so grateful for Ellen to connect us, and I'm really excited to be here and to share a little bit about what we do.
Yeah, it really is. It's an amazing organization. You have a gala coming up on October 26th that we want to end by telling our audience about and how they can participate. But first, tell us a little bit about yourself. You told me before I hit the record button you grew up in Dorchester.
Yeah, I was raised in Dorchester. My whole paternal family is in Quincy and Bridgewater and Massachusetts. We ended up settling in southern New Hampshire, and I've lived here all of my life aside from a few years, and it's been a beautiful place to grow up.
And Less Leg, More Heart is an organization that works with amputees.
It is, yeah.
Correct? So what's the background story here? How did you come to found your organization?
Yeah, so I ended up getting a degree in medicine. I'm a physician associate. And so I worked in acute care medicine for 10 years at Elliott Hospital in Manchester. And then I transitioned into vascular surgery as a PA because my mother was diagnosed with plaque in her arteries, and I wanted to be a better advocate for her. Well, come to find out, in that journey of amputating legs for a living, I actually was diagnosed with a rare vascular condition that affected blood flow to my legs. So at the same chapter in my life, after 10 failed surgeries in less than 2.5 years, I ended up having my leg amputated to improve my quality of life. And so I was rounding on these amputees in hospitals from a knee scooter with a freshly amputated leg, and was seeing the sort of joy and confidence that they had that their life wasn't over because their leg was lost. And I had experienced those same feelings when I lost my leg. I was a very active athlete, very active person. I had an undergraduate degree in exercise science, and I didn't know who I was without my physicality. And it was sort of the nidus for all of the growth and for viewing all of the real challenges from the bedside that I'd been at as a clinician.
It's an amazing story. When you told me about it, you actually went from amputating legs, as you said, to and treating folks to actually having your own leg amputated. To talk about the what it does to you, to your mental well-being, to your psyche, to kind of your ambition for living life. It's devastating at the beginning, and yet here you sit in front of me, a smiling, happy, vibrant person. And
yeah, it took a while. I mean, when I lost my leg, I had been at that point, that was my 10th surgery in less than 3 years. So for 3 straight years, while I was working full time, living in a house with 60 acres of conservation, trying to plan a marriage, taking care of 2 dogs, I was struggling to get by. I was struggling to find hope. I had medication needs and chronic pain and fear and, quite frankly, medical PTSD. And I had to dissociate from that because I was working with that patient population. And so I was unraveling. And clinicians are the worst patients. And so I was sort of ignoring how bad it was getting. And that cost me my relationship. I think that I was so focused on, trying to get through that surgery or being told that I was going in for another surgery for 3 straight years that I had never taken the pulse on my own relationship. And so 6 weeks after my amputation, I actually came home and all of my husband's stuff was gone from our home. And then I had to figure out how to do it alone. And I had to genuinely reframe my entire identity. So not only are you physically trying to learn everything in life again, how to walk again, how to carry a cup of coffee without spilling it, how to take care of your housework, how to get back to work, what legs and prosthetics to use. There's several thousand options, how to get used to your socket, how to wear jeans because you can't fit them over the socket. I mean, every tiny minutia you have to learn over. So physically, it's so daunting and you're running off of fumes. And then you have a catastrophic socioeconomic loss like a divorce happening aside that. And it wiped me out. For 3 weeks, I gave up. I laid in bed. I, couldn't eat. I was so clinically depressed and not seeking treatment. And one of my best friends had broken into my home and literally had to tell me one of the strongest, most powerful statements I've ever been given. She said, "You're selfish." Those were her first words to me looking down, and I was like Skeletor in that bed. She said, "You're depriving the people that love you the opportunity to help you in your greatest time of need. And that's selfish. Get up." And it changed my whole life.
I was going to ask you, what was the turning point? Because, if you stayed beaten down and just kind of wasted away, I don't think anybody would blame you.
No.
Everybody would say, I understand.
And a lot of people do.
But it took tough love, for lack of a better term.
I think having a tribe, a strong tribe, people that will let you visit the pity cabin because you have something serious you need to grieve and mourn and figure out how to come to acceptance with, but not letting you unpack there. That's a critical pivot for many people, and that's what we've sort of created in this organization.
Has it changed you as a medical professional? And actually, I should be calling you doctor.
Well,
doctor.
PA. Yeah.
Has it changed you as a professional? How did it make you better? I imagine it has to have, right?
We have lost, and for those that are listening out there that have ever had a loved one or you personally have been in a hospital, we've lost a lot of the care in healthcare. The system is so overburdened and so under-reimbursed, and post-pandemic, the landscape is so challenging, it's burnt people out. And patients, people, our end users are really suffering, not just with amputation, but with every type of clinical diagnosis, especially chronic illness. And people are feeling objectified and unseen and unheard. Collaboration and continuum of care, education, real proactive ways to help people be healthy rather than responding to their sickness. It's just not really happening. And the options are limited because people don't have the funding to support the things that aren't insurance-based. So it's a big systems problem. Now, your experience is based, or your perspective is based on your experience. And I've experienced now seeing it from the lens of the people in the bed, and I have forever been shaped as a clinician. The level of accountability that I have for each person, because I've been that person, is so much more significant. The understanding of the true pitfalls in the things that make people suffer beyond the things I was taught in school, and how to solve those problems that are outside of the typical scope. That knowledge is so much more expansive, and you can't turn a blind eye when you have vested interest. I've got skin in the game, literally,
Are we seeing more and more amputees and amputations? And what is the cause? I feel like I am personally in my daily routines, my kids' school, et cetera, that you run into it. Is that because of, I don't want to call it decades of endless war leading to a lot of our veterans dealing that? Are there other medical reasons that are leading to it? Or have we just become so much better at treating some of these conditions that, lead to it, that you can now deliver a better quality of life, whereas before it might have been kind of a sentenced to confinement in a chair?
Yeah. When you think about the formation of people, right? People were shunned if they had disability. And so people were hidden truly out of society. They had wooden prosthetic legs, which caused significant morbidity. And so people were not in the community. And you'd be shocked to know that more than 180,000 new amputees are created every single year. That's more than 3.5 million in the United States right now. And you don't see that number of people when you're going around your everyday life. And it's because there are so many barriers to their ability to do that, whether it's accessibility, whether it's mobility devices that are costly, whether it's the right prosthetics that are comfortable, whether it's just mental health concerns. And so there are a lot more amputees than you see, and it's our mission to try to make them more exposed and more able to get out in the community.
180,000
new
per year
a year
in the United
That's 507
States.
a day.
Man, that's stunning. So now we know the need for less leg, more heart, the organization. But starting an organization is a very difficult thing. I've kind of been at the ground floor of one that treats addiction issues, and I know how challenging it is just to start it and then to keep it going. Take me a little bit through that process for you.
I'm really lucky that I was just an ignorant medical professional and I didn't know about business, because I was just so eager and I didn't really know all of what I was getting into, but I had a mission, and they always say that if your whys are strong enough, the hows figure themselves out, and they did. I knew exactly how I wanted to treat people. I had the model in my head of exactly what needed to happen. So I sought counsel, and I got a board of amazing executives that helped me form vision and a mission and what the 5-year plan looked like. And then, you do your formation article through the Secretary of State, and then you get your EIN and you get your bank account. And then it's the daunting, 1023 for the IRS. And that I just had mentors for. I think the beautiful part of philanthropy and humanitarianism is that everybody is so eager to assist other people that are out there trying to make solutions. And so I just leaned in hard to people smarter than me in rooms and was a sponge. And in the beginning we started, and I was, again, young medical professional. I said, we're going to help everybody with an acquired ambulatory condition. So we're going to do spinal cord injuries, amputations, and neuromuscular conditions, MS, stroke, everybody, because the path to treat them is the same. Some of the resource direction is different, but the model is similar. Well, I figured out in the first 2 years that the amount of people that needed that were just, I couldn't deliver excellence in what I was executing as I was building internally with that broad. So we narrowed our inclusion criteria to amputees 4 years ago and have been able to really target that model with the hope of expanding out to have hubs around the country and then build back in those inclusion criteria. But it's always a very interesting learning. I'm so grateful that I'm a student of life, because this type of business, any business, is not something you get into thinking that you know it all or not seeking help from other people.
So I was going to ask you who is the typical person you're servicing, but you mentioned you had to narrow it down to amputees. But where are they from? Is it our kind of the greater Lowell, greater Nashua, the Merrimack Valley area? Yeah. Is that what you're focusing on?
Yeah, we have, this is our first hub. So we've defined it in the last couple of years, and our primary funding for our home, we have 4 programs. And so we have a Hearts program, which is help every amputee realize their strength. We afford gym memberships. We do vetted personal training for people that are adaptively trained. And we also provide prosthetic running blades for people, because insurance, who wrongfully monopolize the direction of care for patients, only give you, by Center of Medicare Medicaid standard, 1 foot every 3 to 5 years. And they deem that running blades are not medically necessary. Running blades are not just for running. It's for maintaining a very active lifestyle. We can't just go out on the street and run at the expense of our hip and our knee and our other side. So they need these equipments. That's part of our Hearts program. Our HELP program, Handicap Education Learning Peer Mentorship. We do peer mentorship meetings every month and a family dinner virtually every Sunday. We do sponsorships to the Amputee Coalition National Limb Loss Conference for a group of amputees every year to have an immersive experience within that platform. And we connect people and their support systems to other people and support systems like them so that they can truly understand. And then, of course, provide resource direction through partnerships with other organizations. The other 2 programs are HOPE, Holistic Optimization and the Pursuit of Equity. Every amputee gets a customized care package that is wellness-based. We also provide funding for anything that's not a needle, narcotic, or a surgery. So anything that improves their quality of life that is good or a service, things like acupuncture, massage therapy, extra PT, couples counseling, maybe it's accessibility items. that will improve their life will fund. And the last program is our home program. So we do home outfitting, modification, and equipment. So ramps, widening doorways, ADA bathrooms, first floor laundry, and also services in their home to help them in their recovery, like pre-prepared meals, handyman services, and house cleaning. And we customize every award. So when someone comes to us, if you're an amputee that's listening to this and you may have need and you may not even know what your need is, but you just want to link in, you go to the website, leslegmoreheart.com, you select the amputee in need form. It goes to our team of beneficiary relations specialists. Those folks will conduct a very thorough 60-minute review that identifies your medical, psychological, social, and economic circumstance. We get a full landscape of your life. And then we may give you what you're coming for subjectively, but we also give you objectively what we know will benefit you in the next chapter. And we follow up with every person in our program, all 350 that we've already helped, and more than 75 per year that are new, at 1, 3, 6, and 12 months the first year, and every 6 months after that. This is a lifelong process of not handouts, but help ups. And we help people to be advocates for themselves, really, truly understand things that are happening and resources available so they can then take the torch and be beacons of hope for their community and pay it forward.
So I have to tell you, you can probably make enough money to fund this mission in perpetuity if you just write a book telling people how to do it, but
it's
also
just time.
how to create an acronym. I mean, your 4 different programs, the acronyms are killer.
Thank you.
You said when people come to us, where is that place that they come to? Is there a central location, or do you go out and meet people, find people in the hospitals, rehab centers, et cetera?
Yeah, right now it's all word of mouth because we're, in order to serve, we already have more than 75 new amputees that find us every year. And so if we've served 350 people and there's 3.5 million, we've only touched 0.01% of amputees. So the limiting factor to any organization is funding and manpower. So the more volunteers, the more board members, and the more funding we get, the more that we can create direct referral sources to the amputating clinicians, the acute rehabs that are discharging patients that are amputees, and also to the prosthetists, who are the people that manage the prosthetic legs. And so that's part of our expansion as we grow.
All right. We are chatting with Tina Hurley, founder of Less Leg, More Heart, and we're going to tell you about an event that she has coming up, a fun Halloween Costume Gala, where you can have a little fun and help support this amazing cause. You called it a business. It's actually because you have to run it that way, whether it's a nonprofit or not. You told me
44 volunteers.
44 volunteers. Everybody is a volunteer.
Yes,
so every
sir.
penny that you raise goes towards helping people. Do you have benefactors who have kind of been with you along the way and kind of helped?
Yes. Yes, we have people, our board is financially vested in the organization, and we have ongoing people that have partnered and sponsored our organization.
Okay. How many different events do you put on a year? How many different fundraisers?
Yeah, 3 to 4 on average. We did a fire truck pull last month, which was really fun. And then we also have had cornhole tournaments in the past, wine cheese pairings. We've had comedy nights. We have a yoga coming up in November. And then we, of course, have our gala that's happening on the 26th of October.
Yeah. All right. Tell me a little bit about that great location.
Yeah,
Castleton up in Windham, New Hampshire. It's beautiful grounds,
Yeah.
beautiful facility up there.
It's beautiful. And ironically, it was my high school prom site. So it's pretty interesting to circle back. This is our second annual.
My first wedding reception.
Yeah, everyone's been there in some form, but it's our second annual. I've got a team of people that are just incredible at running events. It's going to be a costume gala, a Halloween costume gala. So folks are encouraged to come in whatever they want, whether it's dressy or not dressy. It's going to have some pretty incredible items that we're going to be auctioning. We've got 3 vacation packages. We've got floor seats to the Celtics with a limo and a night at a hotel. So it's a lot of really cool things you can spend your money on that hopefully you'll take away and bring stuff home. There's buffets, there's 50-50 raffles. We're going to have a really inspiring and motivating presentation. And of course, there's music and dancing. And it's going to be a really great time to support the cause.
All right. So how do people find out about it? And let's start with the business community or individuals who want to become a sponsor and support. There's still time, right? We're recording this on October 9th.
Yes, there's still a couple of weeks for people to be sponsors. The sponsor packages are available on the event tab of our website. So if you go to leslegmoreheart.com and you click on events underneath the Halloween Gala, you'll find a sponsor link. We have 4 levels of sponsorship, and there's increasing items in terms of your business, visibility based on those items. And we will proudly shout your business from the rooftops if you're a supporter, because we're so grateful.
And individual tickets for somebody who wants to come out, have a fun night, and also support the
also
cause.
You can get it at the same place, leslegmoreheart.com events tab. Tickets are $100. If you get a table of 8, you can get it for $7.50. And I think we're actually we only have 60 tickets left out of almost 300. So it's going fast.
Yeah, well, it's a fun type of night. lesslegmoreheart.com.
You got it.
Is the web address. Christina Hurley, Tina Hurley is the brains and behind the operation. Thank you so much for joining us here at InsideLowell, and thank you for what you're doing out there in the community. It's amazing work. It's an amazing organization, and I know if Ellen Andre is backing it, it is.
Thank you, Ellen.
It is as legit as it gets. So thank you so much.
I'm so grateful, and I hope to see a lot of you folks there.
All right, good luck. We'll have to bring you back for your future events, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you to Christina, and thank you to you as well for joining us here at Inside Lowell, as we like to say, Inside Lowell. If Lowell is your home, this is your place. Till next time, be well, everybody.